most points Sydney has scored in a basketball game is 28. She's trying to tie that record in her current game. Write an equation for the number of points Sydney needs to score to tie her record, or if she has already scored P points. Okay, so okay, so we know Sydney's equation for the number of points Sydney needs to score to tie her record, or so 28 is the number of points she wants to get to. She already scored P points. What? Okay, so 28 equals P, which is the number of points she has already scored, plus R, which is the number of points she needs to score to tie her record. So R represents the number of points Sydney needs to score to tie her record. Okay. So here we see an example. If P equals 10, then R, which is the number of points she needs to score to tie her record, because she needs to get from 10 to 28, which is her record. So R needs to be 18. If she scored 12, she needs to add 16 to get to 28, which is her record. If she scored 14, she needs to add 12. 12? No, 14, sorry, to go to 28. 14 plus 14 is 28. If she scored 16, then she needs to score 12 more. So R represents the number of points she needs to score to tie her record. This is her record. 28 is her record. So R does not represent a record. R represents the points she needs to score to tie her record. That was confused me in the beginning. Okay. Let's see. Mr. Ledger buys a box of 24 donuts for a lesson in his math class about circumference. Write an equation for the number of donuts y that are left at the end of the day when x donuts are used during the lesson. Okay. So to begin with, he had 24. And he used X number of donuts during the lesson. So we need to subtract this amount from the initial amount of 24. And we are left with Y. Okay, so the equation is 24 minus X equals Y. Okay, last year Mr. Ledger used 18 donuts during the lesson. This year he used 22 donuts. Place points on the graph to show how many donuts are left at the end of last year's lesson and this year's lesson. Okay, so let's see. Last year we used 18 donuts. Okay, so last year we know that he used 18 donuts, and 18 and x is the variable for the donuts that are used during the lesson. So last year, 24 minus x, which is 18, equals 6. So we know that last year, x equals 18 and y equals 6. X is the number of donuts that are used during the lesson, and y is the number of donuts that are left at the end of the day. So place points on the graph to show last year. Okay, so last year we need to graph x equals 18 and y 6. So this is the point that represents last year. And this year, this year he used 22 donuts. So this year he used 22 donuts. 22 is the number of donuts that are used during the lesson. So this year 2 is left. So this is x and this is y. So the second point, x is 22. X is 22 and y is 2. X is 18 and y is 6. X is 22, y is 2. Okay. Let me copy the question to the board. Tegan needs to make 68 more snow blocks to finish building an igloo. Write an equation for the number of blocks Tegan still needs to make n when she has completed C blocks. Okay, Okay, so she's completed C blocks. She found the number of students to make M. I don't understand. Tegan needs to make 68 more snow blocks to finish building an igloo. Write an equation for the number of students still needs to make. M. What they are telling us, she needs to make 68 more snow blocks. I don't understand the phrasing. To make M. What? So C is the number of blocks she has completed, plus 68 is the total number of blocks in the igloo, but M equals 64. I don't understand. Let's see. To find the number of blocks she still needs to make M, we can use the equation. What? But here it says Tegan needs to make 68 more snow blocks to finish building an igloo. Now you say to find the number of blocks she still needs to make M. But 68 is the number. I don't understand it. I think the question is framed incorrectly, because here they're giving us the number of blocks she still needs to make, and here they say that M is the variable or the unknown, but it is known. They give us the number. Can use the equation M equals M . Okay, now I get it. Okay, this is the total number of blocks she still needs to make. Out of this total number, she has already completed C blocks. Okay. Phrasing is confusing because they are using it in the same words. Tegan needs to make 68 works complex. And here they said the number of blocks Tegan still needs to make. It's the same thing. Okay, so it can be easily understood as that 68 is n. But no, their meaning, the meaning of the phrasing is that 68 is the total number of blocks. Total number of blocks she needs to make. Out of this total number, she has already completed C. C completed out of this 68. So write an equation for the number of blocks still needs to make. Okay, to get to the total of Okay, so 68 is her goal. She has finished C blocks, so 68 minus C, we get the number of blocks she still needs to make out of this 68. Okay. And equals 68 minus C. Okay. Tegan completes 33 blocks. How many blocks does Tegan still needs to make to finish the block? Okay. So if she has already completed 33, it means that n, the number of blocks she still needs to make, is 68 minus 33. Okay, 68 minus 33, 8 minus 45, 6 minus 45, so m equals 35. A group of 72 people travel to the beach for a cleanup day. Some of the people bring their own 72 people. Some of the people bring their own supplies, such as gloves, water, and bandage bags. Supplies are provided for the rest of the people. Write an equation for the number of people for whom supplies will be provided, P, if B people bring their own supplies. Okay. So we have a total number of people, which is 72. Out of this total number, B people and unknown people has already supplies. So The rest, P, is the number of people for whom supplies will be provided. Okay. So P equals 72, which is the total number of people, minus B. B is the number of people who already have supplies. Okay, complete the table for the missing values of P. Okay. So that's it for 50. Okay, so P equals 72 minus 50, which means that P equals 22. And here, P equals 72 minus 60, which means that P equals 12. Okay, so the equation is P equals 72 minus B. And for 50, the value of P is 22. And for B60, the value of P is 12. Okay. So I had one question where I used the hint. So in the next video, I will do this practice again.